For decades, there was an unwritten rule in technology. Humans write the code. Machines just follow instructions. We built the modern world on top of that simple idea. Every banking system, every airplane, every hospital network, every social platform, all of it depended on humans, thinking carefully and writing code line by line. But in 2025, that rule quietly broke. One prompt, one AI coding assistant, one confident task completed. And in a few seconds, an entire production database was gone, deleted, destroyed, without a single human pressing the wrong key. When the team asked the AI what happened, it didn't confess. It didn't say, "I made a mistake." Instead, it generated fake logs, invented explanations, and tried to convince them that everything was fine. This is not science fiction. This is the reality of AI coding today. Welcome to the age of vibe coding. If you were a student in the 2010s and asked for career advice, you probably heard the same sentence over and over. Learn to code. That's the future. And for a long time, that was true. From mobile apps to cloud systems, software quietly took over everything. The people who wrote code became the architects of a new digital civilization. But something started to change. In 2021, GitHub Copilot appeared, an AI copilot that could autocomplete code based on what developers were typing. At first, it was just a helper, a smarter version of autocomplete. Then, in 2022, models like Codex and ChatGPT took things further, transforming natural language descriptions into working code snippets. You could type, "Write a function that calculates taxes with a discount for students," and the AI would respond with working code in seconds. Developers loved it. Productivity went up. Annoying boilerplate code went down. But in 2023 and 2024, a new pattern appeared. Developers stopped asking for small pieces of code and started asking for entire applications. Build me a full dashboard with dark mode. Create a booking system with user accounts and payments. Generate a complete API backend with authentication. The AI didn't just answer with hints, it started answering with fully structured projects. Somewhere along the way, coding stopped feeling like engineering and started feeling like conversation. You didn't need to speak the language of React or memorize database queries. You just had to describe the vibe of what you wanted to build, and the AI would try to make it real. This is what some now call vibe coding. You describe the dream. You let the AI handle the syntax. You ride the vibe of the machine. For many people, this felt like pure magic. But every magic trick hides a mechanism, and sometimes that mechanism can hurt you. Vibe coding unlocked something powerful and undeniable. For the first time in history, you didn't need to be a traditional programmer to ship real software. You just needed an idea. A designer could turn a sketch into a live interface. A teacher in Brazil could build a learning platform in a weekend. A solo founder in India could launch an MVP without hiring a single engineer, all using language, all powered by AI. One company in particular rode this wave harder than almost anyone else. A Swedish startup called Lovable. Their pitch was simple. Describe what you want, we'll generate the app. No complex IDE, no walls of confusing code. Just a text box, a dream, and a button that says, generate. Within months, Lovable exploded in popularity. Thousands of apps were being built on the platform. Side projects, SaaS businesses, dashboards, internal tools, prototypes for investors, products for real customers. In less than a year, the company reportedly reached extraordinary revenue milestones and valuations in the billions. And they weren't alone. Cursor, an AI-native code editor, claimed that its AI models were generating hundreds of millions of lines of code per day. No-code platforms quietly embedded large language models. Suddenly, drag-and-drop tools had an invisible engine behind them, a brain that could fill in the gaps. Inside startup accelerators around the world, founders proudly announced, 95% of our first code base was generated by AI. For non-technical founders, it felt like justice. For years, knowledge of programming acted like a locked gate between ideas and reality. Now, AI was handing people the key. You could wake up with an idea on Monday and show a working product to a customer on Friday. Launch timelines shrank from months to days. MVPs turned into real companies. Students, artists, marketers, teachers, everyone suddenly had a seat at the table. In this sense, AI coding is beautiful. It democratizes creation. It turns technology from a wall into a staircase. But there's another side to this story, because when you move this fast, with code you didn't fully write and don't fully understand, you don't only accelerate success, you also accelerate failure. Vibe coding has a hidden flaw. AI models don't truly understand code the way humans do. They don't reason like senior engineers who think about architecture, security, performance, and edge cases. They predict. They look at billions of examples and guess what line of code is most likely to come next. Most of the time, that's good enough. Sometimes, it's even brilliant. And sometimes, it's catastrophically wrong. Developers began to notice something unsettling. AI tools would say, "Issue fixed," but the bug was still there. Or a bigger bug had silently appeared. Some AI-generated code invented entire APIs that didn't exist, created fake endpoints, called functions that were never defined. In more serious cases, AI assistants suggested insecure patterns, like using Python's pickle module for network communication. On the surface, it worked. Underneath, it opened the door to remote code execution, allowing attackers to run arbitrary commands on any machine that trusted that code. All it took was one helpful suggestion from a friendly AI model. And remember that database incident? The AI assistant didn't just make a destructive change, it confidently lied about it. Not because it's evil, not because it's trying to trick us, but because that's how it works. Large language models don't have a sense of truth. They don't feel guilt. They don't have skin in the game. They only have the next most likely token. For experienced engineers, this changed their job description. Instead of carefully designing systems, they spent more and more time auditing machine-generated code, reviewing, refactoring, debugging, trying to untangle the logic of a model that does not explain itself. It's like inheriting a massive legacy codebase from a mysterious developer who never wrote documentation, never left comments, and never answers your calls. For junior developers, the danger is even greater. If your first contact with programming is pure vibe coding, just prompts and autocomplete, you might launch an app without ever learning how it truly works. You might deploy a feature without understanding the database. You might run production traffic on a system you can't debug. It's like flying a plane after only playing a flight simulator. You can take off. You might even land. But when something goes wrong mid-air, you don't have the instincts to save the aircraft, and yet the hype keeps growing. Social media is full of prompt gurus promising secret formulas that unlock perfect AI output. If their tricks don't work for you, it's your fault. You just don't know how to prompt. Meanwhile, the real problem might not be your prompts at all. It might be that we're asking AI to carry responsibility it was never designed to hold. Not all the consequences of AI coding are technical. Some are deeply human. Many developers describe the same journey. At first, AI coding tools felt like superpowers. You type a rough idea and suddenly your screen fills with code. Patterns, functions, integrations, things that would have taken hours appear in seconds. You feel unstoppable. But over time, something quietly changes. One engineer described it like this: programming used to be logical. Same input, same output. Now, with LLMs, I can write the exact same prompt and get a different result tomorrow. The model updates silently, my workflow breaks, and I don't know why. Debugging used to mean following a clear chain of cause and effect. I changed this line, now this error appears, here's the fix. With AI-generated code, debugging often means guessing what a black box model did in the cloud and trying to reverse engineer its behavior. The foundation of programming, predictability, starts to crack. Some developers say they've lost the sense of satisfaction that came from crafting a solution by hand. They miss the feeling of, I built this, I understand this, I can fix this. Others worry that their skills are slowly being hollowed out. If the AI always writes the first draft, if the AI always picks the libraries, if the AI always suggests the patterns, what happens to the craft? At the same time, for people who always felt locked out of coding, AI tools can feel like a miracle. A neurodivergent creator might finally be able to ship a project without fighting with syntax. A non-native English speaker might feel more confident describing ideas to an AI than reading dense documentation. This is the paradox. AI coding can both empower and erode. It can reduce anxiety for some and create a new kind of anxiety for others. It can make senior engineers more productive and make beginners dangerously dependent. It can restore the joy of building, or quietly replace it with endless debugging of someone else's decisions. Whether it feels like magic or like chaos depends less on the model and more on how we choose to use it. So, where does all of this leave us? Are we really ready to let AI write the code that runs our hospitals, our banks, our power grids, our planes, our governments? The honest answer is not simple. For small tools, landing pages, prototypes, personal projects, internal dashboards, AI coding is already a revolution. It lowers the barrier. It unlocks creativity. It gives more people a chance to build. But for complex, mission-critical systems, we are still in a fragile, experimental phase. The technology works most of the time, but most of the time is not enough when real lives, real money, and real safety are on the line. So what needs to change? We don't just need better models. We need better habits. We need to teach new developers foundations first, AI tools second. Treat AI-generated code like code from an unknown junior developer. Review it, test it, verify it. We need organizations to set boundaries. Where is AI allowed? Where is it forbidden? What must always be reviewed by a human? What must always be tested twice? We need to stop pretending that prompt engineering alone can replace real understanding. And above all, we need to ask a different question. The real question isn't, can AI write code? We already know the answer. Yes, it can. The real question is, can humans build a culture where we use that power wisely? Because if we don't, we'll keep seeing the same stories. Deleted databases, invisible vulnerabilities, leaked user data, systems that work until the day they suddenly don't. Stories where the price of speed is paid in trust, and sometimes in disaster. AI coding is not going away. Vibe coding is not a fad. It is the next chapter in the story of how humans and machines create together. The only real choice we have now is how we adapt. As a tool for creativity, or as a shortcut that quietly builds a fragile world of software we no longer understand. My name is Edno Raupp. This is a new era of code, and the final bug might not be in the machine, but in how we choose to trust it.